Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a series. Are you freaking kidding me? I said on my last video, if the Raptors win on Monday, that door, it's open. The Raptors are going to have a chance at making NBA history, and they are going to be feeling good about getting back on that plane, going back to Canada for that Game 6 on Thursday night. The Toronto Raptors didn't just beat the Philadelphia 76ers on Monday night. No, they absolutely own them. The Philadelphia 76ers looked like they saw a ghost. They did not know what the hell was going on. From Doc Rivers looking puzzled, to Joel Embiid looking frustrated, to the Sixers faithful booing their own team when they were down 14 in the first half, and then leaving the game with about 3 minutes left. Meanwhile, back in Canada, back in Toronto, there were fans getting rained on outside of Scotiabank Arena, inside Jurassic Park, watching their team fight back, watching their team make this a series. Shout out to those fans who were bracing that rain, who were literally drenched, watching this all-time great Raptors total team performance. The Toronto Raptors pull it out, and this is a team that they are playing with the utmost of confidence right now. Nick Nurse said, somebody's got to do it. We just got to get to 3-1. 3-1's been done before. Doc Rivers has blown 3-3-1 leads on his own. Well, now it's 3-2, and 3-2 has been done plenty. And before I get ahead of myself and look to Game 6 and 7, I just want to enjoy this for what it is. Because whatever happens the rest of the way, you got to applaud this Raptors team and the fight that they have showed, because they could have just laid down and let the Sixers sweep them or take care of business here tonight, blow them out in Game 5. But that was not the case. They are going to make the Sixers earn this series win. And now, the pressure is on Philadelphia for that Game 6, man. And I know Philadelphia 76ers fans, the ones who were very confident going into Game 5, thinking the Sixers were going to easily win that game. I know they're feeling it now. RB, I love you, my guy. But I know you're nervous right now, brother. And I know Sixers fans are feeling it. Because this team has the cast of that team that you would envision choking. And you look at tonight's game, the Raptors without Fred VanVleet, their quote-unquote leader, looked awesome. They went with their big lineup. Siakam played great. He had 23.7 assists, 10 rebounds. OG Anunoby had 16. Kem Birch had 7. Kem Birch was good in this game, guys. Early on, he was giving the Raptors a lot. The Raptors were getting a lot of value from Kem Birch. And it started from right when he hit that three and had that layup inside. Scotty Barnes, what can I say about him? He looked like Showtime out there. Magic Johnson called him Showtime. He was dropping Magic Johnson-esque dimes to his teammates. He had 12, 8, and 4. Gary Trent Jr. had another solid night of 16 points. Achua had 17 and 7. The Raptors are at their best when everybody chips in. The Raptors threw this big, long lineup, and it worked wonderfully out of the gate. Thad Young came in with his defensive prowess. Boucher gave you high energy in the 17 minutes that he played. The Raptors totally contained the Sixers, and what makes the Raptors special? It's their defense. And they played with that championship-esque, top-notch defense in this one. They stifled the Sixers to 38% shooting, 27% from 3. And the Raptors shot 50% from the field. They weren't good from 3, but their defense buckled down when they needed to. Every time it looked like Philadelphia was going to make a run and they were potentially going to get back in the game, the Raptors did a good job of once again bending but not breaking. Philly made their runs, but the Raptors hit shots to respond. Philly looked like they were going to come back, but the Raptors defense buckled down. This Raptors team is playing with ultra confidence right now. They don't have a superstar who's going to just put the team on his back. They got multiple players that when they buy in defensively, when they are moving the ball and guys know their role, they are tough to beat as a unit. This is what makes this team special. It's a collective effort. If one or two guys are off, the whole thing's thrown off. If everybody is good and they know their role, the Raptors are a tough team to beat. And when they're clicking defensively, they're especially tough to beat. And we saw that in this Game 5. The Philadelphia 76ers, they got a hobbled MVP candidate in Embiid. I mean, he had 20 and 11 and 4, but he still has not looked like that same old big bad Embiid that we saw through the first 3 games, the guy that hit the epic game winner. James Harden, I know he's more of a point guard now, getting his teammates involved, but that's not going to cut it for him. He's got to do more offensively. I mean, you look at this one, Tobias Harris scored more than James Harden. Danny Green almost scored as many points as James Harden. He was off by 1. That's not going to cut it for James Harden, who's supposed to look like a superstar, who's supposed to look like the second best player in this series, and supposed to be that guy that Embiid can count on. Philadelphia, they are backed in a corner, and I guarantee they obviously did not want to come back to Toronto for a Game 6. They were banking on winning this game, and you saw that early. When the Raptors were up 6, Doc Rivers tried to not take any chances. He called the timeout immediately. That's when I knew the pressure was on. Doc Rivers did whatever he could to preserve this game for the Sixers. He rested Embiid for a short period of time before running him back out there. And despite all that, the Sixers were still unable to win. And now you got to go play a Game 6 in front of a crazy crowd in Toronto with a packed house, packed Jurassic Park. And that pressure that started off here is now here. My goodness, I would not want to be a Sixers fan right now, straight up. The pressure's on. And look, there's still a long way to go. We're talking about history here. We're not talking about coming back from 3-1 down or 0-2 down or 3-2 down. This series could have very well been 3-2 Raptors, by the way, if the Raptors showed up in Game 3, but I won't get to that. We're talking about NBA history. We're talking about doing a reverse sweep. We're talking about beating the same team 4 times, which I emphasized last show. How hard that is to do, because you got to outclass the other team 4 straight times. And despite how good the Raptors have looked, let's call it for what it is, they still got to win 2 more games. They got to be perfect for 2 more games. Even if they win Game 6, they got to go win a Game 7 on the road in Philly. But they got a chance, man. They have a chance. And they got a good chance. Because they're playing with house money. Guys are buying in. The defense is looking sharp. And the Sixers look like that team that's rattled. The Sixers have that voice in their head creeping up. Doc Rivers knows deep down, here we go again. You can get that feeling. They can pretend and say they're all right, they're composed, they're going to be ready. But they had no idea in their wildest imagination that they would have to pack their bags to go play a Game 6 in Toronto. And these next 2 days are going to eat them alive. And the Raptors are just going to thrive off how long this series goes. And we have a series now. This is a good series. And this is the Raptors team I expected to see at the beginning, which is why I picked the Raptors so confidently in 6 at the start of the series. Because this was the Raptors team I was expecting throughout. But despite how they started, despite Scottie being out, even with Van Vliet being out, this team continues to fight. And when they were down 0-3, like most people, I looked at this as an impossible task. Some people might still say, it's impossible, Luka. They still got to win 2 more games. But this team has fought to play another game. And this team has a chance. We got ourselves a series. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, whatever you guys been doing, Raptors fans, Raptors Nation, wearing the clothes you're wearing, not shaving the beard, I'm not shaving my beard. Do not touch any ritual you have. Keep this thing going. And we'll be back Thursday night to cover this game. I'll be doing a live stream like I did for Game 5. I'll be doing a post-game video just like this. The Raptors, they came to play. They were not messing around in Game 5. And all of a sudden, this series has turned on its head. Let me know what your reaction was to Game 5. What chance do you give the Raptors now of forcing a Game 7, winning Game 6, and just adding another layer of craziness to this whole storyline? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Ring the bell. Let's blow this video up. Send this to a Sixers fan. Do whatever you got to do. We'll see what happens in Game 6. But it should be a good one. Sixers fans, Raptors fans, it's going to be a war on Thursday night. And we'll see what happens. Either Sixers move on or the Raptors force a Game 7 back in Philly on Saturday. This is Luca Rosano signing off. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all again in the next video.